gotta get in the game. You gotta get with the family. Homer, Marge, Lisa, and Bart.
Don't you understand, son? Your whole life has been a video game.
Well, the Simpsons game is actually all original. It's 8,000 lines of all original script written by the show's writers, but it is not tied to any one Simpsons episode, nor is it tied to the movie. It's actually a brand new fiction, a brand new storyline that the writers came up with a few years ago and said, hey, what would it be like if the Simpsons realized they were actually inside a video game? So that's kind of the simple premise. The conceit we used to set up the game from the very beginning, that Bart realizes he finds a game manual and says, oh my god, I'm in the video game of my life, and that sets up everything else that we do for the whole storyline that's original and unique to the game. You actually get to play as all 5 family members, including Maggie. We actually have special Maggie moments as well, but all of the characters actually have special abilities tied to their personalities. So if you think of Lisa, you think of Marge, Bart, and Homer, what they would be and how they would play in the game. Homer will eat food and actually turn into Homer Ball, where you can roll out and squash stuff, whereas Bart will become the quintessential action hero, Lisa's more the puzzle solver, and Marge actually has her unique ability to control mobs and make them do things that she wants them to.
They send one of ours to the hospital, we send one of theirs to the morgue.
Since we know we're in a video game, since the game starts with Bart discovering the game manual that actually ships in the box with the product, he's like, oh my god, this video game, they actually go through and discover what their powers are. So we actually have this 16-episode storyline. It's broken into 4 different acts. Act 1 is basically wish fulfillment. It's where they discover what their powers are, how to use them, what it would be like to be a video game character. Act 2, Kang and Kodos actually invade Springfield and actually start tearing up the town and bring kind of like a Treehouse of Horrors moment to the entire gameplay and say, oh wow, what would happen if the dolphins came out of the water and attacked Paradise Pier, or if Lard Lad came alive and started attacking the town, and these guys now have to stop it. And so we kind of progress through the storyline in Act 3 and 4 that answer the bigger questions of what's it like to be a game character and what's next to do as a game character. So it's a really great story. It goes from realizing they're a video game character all the way to being, why are we here? The great thing about having the guys who make the show and the people who have actually known this for 20 years, everybody knows what these voices sound like. Everybody knows what the writing should be like. So when you actually have the writers and you actually have them writing the script, and then you have them directing the actual actors who do the original voices, we have over 200 characters in this game. Some of them are brand new, unique to the video game, and a lot of them are reprised roles from the show. So having the actors come in and do their pieces, and Homer sounds like Homer, and all these parts that Bart has, and it's just is crazy fun for us to hear this chatter and hear the characters talking to each other and saying these lines of dialogue that are about the video game industry. It's a really great combination.
I can't hurt him, he's too awesome!
When I look at the game, it looks a lot like the TV show. How did you work with it graphically?
We actually have a couple patent-pending technologies, believe it or not, to make it look like it's hand-drawn from every angle. It's one of the things that we love about the show is that it looks like The Simpsons. Nothing else looks quite like it. There's lots of games and lots of even TV shows that are out there that are cel-shaded, but you look at ours and it needs to look like The Simpsons. Everybody knows what they look like. They know what the Homer silhouette should be, or when he's funny or smiling and everything else. So our job is to figure out how to make that real time, but in a 3D world that you can run around and explore like you've seen, but still make it look like a 2D interpretation of the show. We kind of call it a next-gen version of the TV show. It's not quite the show, it's a little bit different because it has some effects and has the 3D nature to it. It's not quite the movie, which has its own unique look. It's kind of the game version of the show. So every episode in the game is actually designed to have 2 characters at every time going through it. So you can have like Bart and Lisa in Day of the Dolphins fighting together and working together to get through the challenges and overcome the dolphins and send them back to the water. We've designed it that way for 2 reasons. First, we just like having it as a family show. It's a family game. We want them to partner together. But also, you can hit the start button on the second controller at any moment and the game will go vertical split screen, and now I can control Bart while you control Lisa in that case, and we can do that in every episode at any moment. We call it co-op, drop-in, drop-out gameplay. So whenever you want to, you can just join in with a friend or you can just leave them alone, and if you're not playing, then the buddy AI will take over and get the other character through the episode with you.
So is it a satire as well?
It is. It really is. It's a satire. It's a parody. You know, we look at everything we do from video games. There actually are video game moments that feel like you're playing a retro-style game, like what would Frogger look like, Simpsons style, but as part of the storyline. And also we have signage in the levels that make fun of other pop culture games. We even have an episode called Medal of Homer, which is kind of like a Simpsons-style World War II shooter. So this combination of going from parodies of past to parodies of present is really fun for game players and for Simpsons fans to explore. So we're actually on 6 platforms. We have the next-gen SKUs for PS3, 360, and Wii. We have the current-gen PS2. We also have the DS and the PSP, and we're all shipping fall 2007.
Great. Thank you very much.
The Simpsons game. Coming this fall to every platform ever made.
Whatever!
Shh.